What do you do? I work in a toll booth, and I live an abundant life. What do you do? I find God in all places. Where do you find God? I'm exhausted. I work every day at my little computer, and I do emails a lot, and they frustrate me. And work for a nonprofit. It's killing me. I work in a toll booth, and things are going swimmingly because I am in relationship with my body, with my dreams, with this little space that I'm in. I would have loved to see him dance like how he does all his moves. Are you guys okay? 2 more stories? Relatively short ones. I don't know what happened, but I just found 2 of the books that I love most in the world. So this one, I had to take the how do you say in your country, rubber band off, because I keep it. I bought the book just on the basis of the picture. I saw the picture, I'm like, I love this book. I'm a book, guy. And then I saw the title, I'm like, oh, it's a goner now. So the title is Grace and Grit, 2 of my favorite words, actually. And so at first I just saw the picture. I'm like, that is beautiful. I want to know those bald people. And then I saw the title. I'm like, oh, I'm a goner now. I buy a lot of books and I don't get to read them. But if people say, did you like the book? Just on the basis of the title, was it a good book? I'm like, absolutely, that's great. Grace and Grit. And all I read is the title. And I say it with confidence, like, oh yeah, it's great. Grace and Grit, what more do you need to know? So although this one, people, look, we got multiple callers in here, and every conceivable Reddit. Oh my God, it's embarrassing. So there's a scene in here. It's about this couple who fall in love, and then they plan their honeymoon, and then she finds that lump, and then they alter their honeymoon plans, and she has a partial vasectomy. And then the Odyssey begins. And this is towards the end of the Odyssey, and now they're in Germany, and she's eaten coffee, put coffee in all different orifices, done yoga, done backwards yoga. She has done everything to battle this baby, heroically. And now they're in Germany. This is sort of the last stop, and it's not going well. And her husband, who's been unbelievably faithful, is exhausted. And there's a little crass, but I think it lends itself to the humanity of it, so I don't apologize, but I just warn you. So his wife is meditating, and he's like, I need to get out of here, and she goes to leave, and there were people that are hosting them in Germany, and he says, I took the elevator down to the front desk, and Norbert was there. Ken, you should not get drunk like that. You have to be strong for Treya. Oh, God, Norbert, I'm tired of being strong. I want to be weak and spineless for a while. Suits me better. Don't talk like that, Ken. It does not help anything. Look, Norbert, I'm going out for a drive to Bad Godesberg. I'll call and check in later. Don't do anything stupid, Ken. I stared at him as the cab pulled away. Germany is closed on Sunday. I began walking the back streets of Godesberg, feeling sorrier and sorrier for myself. At this point, I wasn't so much thinking of Treya as I was wallowing in me. My whole fucking life is a shambles. I've given it all up for Treya, and now Treya, I'll kill her, is going to die. As I walked and emoted, pissed that no pubs seemed to be open, I heard polka music coming from several blocks away. It must be a pub, I thought. Even on Sunday, you can't keep good Germans away from Kolsch and Piers. I followed the music to a cute little pub about 6 blocks out of town. Inside were a dozen men, all of them somewhat elderly, maybe in their late 60s, rosy cheeks from years of starting the day with Kolsch. The music was lively, not what Americans think of as polka, which is a kind of schmaltzy Lawrence Welk mush, but more like authentic German bluegrass music. I love this music. About half of the men, there were no women, and no younger men were dancing together in a semicircle, arms around each other's shoulders in a type of Zorba the Greek dance. It seemed like to me, every now and then kicking their legs up in unison. You can see all these guys in the, how do you say in the country? Suspenders, lederhosen, and they all are looking like me, only a little more exaggerated, and they got this thing, and they're like this. This image, and they're all thick, I'm a thick guy, so I'm like, I love these guys. Anyway, that's how I'm thinking. I sat down at the bar myself and put my head in my arms. So his wife is dying. He's been with her for 3 years. So we got this is Ken Wilber, who's one of the most brilliant men in the world. He wrote a book called The History of Everything, and he was like serious about it. You know, so you write a book called The History of Everything, and you're not fooling. You got to be sort of smart. You know what I'm saying? This guy is brilliant, unbelievably brilliant. But it didn't prevent his wife's left breast from bleeding, and then him accompanying her. So that one of the most brilliant men in the world is now sitting in a bar with his arms in his hands, doing this. Finding God is connected to your humanity. If you avoid your humanity, you will successfully miss God. So he puts his head in his arms, and I sat at the bar myself, put my head in my arms, a Kolsch appeared in front of me, and without wondering where it came from, I drank it in one pull. Another appeared, I drank it. I guess they're thinking I'm running the tab, I thought. About 4 beers later, I started crying again, though now I try to hide it. I don't ever remember crying this much, I think, crying for myself anyway. I'm starting to get slightly tipsy now. A few of the men dance in my direction and gesture for me to join them. No, thank you, I don't dance, I gesture back. A few beers later, they gesture again, only this time one of them takes me by the arm in a friendly way and tugs. I say something in German, the one phrase that I've memorized. They keep tugging and gesturing, smiling, looking concerned, looking like they want to help. I think seriously about bolting for the door, but I haven't paid for the beer. Awkwardly, very self-consciously, I join the men dancing, arms around those on both sides of me, moving back and forth, kicking our legs up every now and then. I start laughing, then I start crying, then laughing, then crying. Somebody in this room has been in a situation when you were so tired after accompanying somebody in pain or yourself in pain that your emotions are just so raw that laughing morphs into crying, that morphs into laughing, that morphs into crying. Usually you're by yourself in a fetal position. He has these 2 big German security guys on either side of his shoulders, and they're kicking up their legs, and he can't get away. I start laughing, then I start crying, then laughing, then crying. I would like to run away. Precisely, we all want to run away, and then you will miss God. If you run away and you successfully hide, then you will miss God. But I am locked. I would like to run away, to hide what is happening to me, but I am locked arm and shoulder into the semicircle. For about 15 minutes, I seem to lose all control over my emotions. Fear, panic, self-pity, laughter, terror, feeling sorry for myself, feeling happy about myself. They all come rushing through me and show on my face, which embarrasses me. The smartest man in the world is embarrassed because tears are just streaking down his cheeks. And he's being held by these big, thick German guys, and every once in a while they kick their feet up. Which embarrasses me, but the men keep nodding their heads and smiling, as if to tell me, it's all okay, young man, it's all okay, just keep dancing, young man, just keep dancing, you see, like this. I don't know how it happened, but this is the equivalent of AA, only the grieving group. This is like the grieving group. And that's what they do to grieve with each other. And then this young guy comes in and unbeknownst to himself, he joins the grieving group. And they're like, go ahead, dude, we're good with this. What do you think? We're ashamed of your crying? We've been crying for about the last 4 years. You do whatever you need to do. We're with you. We're with you. No need to be ashamed here. Just kick every once in a while, and then now weep. That's good. Crack up for a little bit. Now give me one of these. That's good. You're doing great. You are doing great. Isn't this great? It's us guys together in the pub on Sunday. How did he find the pub? Like, what's the likelihood that he's going to find the grieving pub on Sunday in Germany? You tell me, unless when you lean into cooperating with God, all of a sudden grace just explodes. If you just walk, just turn towards God, take one step towards God, stop living an edited life, stop living an honest life, just say, I ache, I'm lonely, I'm delighted, I'm scared, and pretty soon you're like, I'm scared too. Really? Well, let's talk. Let's have lunch. I work in a toll booth. Really? Well, I don't have a job. That'll be great. We'll have to eat someplace cheap. But could somebody just tell the truth and talk and be intimate? And then grace is found in relationships.